Annyeong, what up everybody? It's the third episode of the Vin and Noira Show. On this podcast, we have me, Noira, and the usual one and only, Vin.
Hey.
Cue intro music if there is any.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Oh my god! Wow!
Bacon, sausage, and pasta. Bacon, sausage, and
Today, we will be talking about third culture kids, aka TCK. We've brushed a little on it on our first episode, but we're going to talk about it a little more on this one. So expect to hear personal experiences and some quirky observations. I hope you guys are ready for some shits and giggles with the Vin and Noira Show. No, finally we're back again, man.
Yep. I feel like it's been forever.
I know, right? Every time there's a gap between our podcast recordings, it feels like it's been a while, eh?
Even though we do it on the same day every week, it still feels like forever. Every other week.
I know, it's a weird feeling. So what have you been up to, Vin?
I've been doing a lot of animation work for my D&D campaign, and then other than that, nothing really. I've been bored as fuck. How about you? What have you been doing?
I've been kind of picking up on new hobbies as well. Like I learned on making music. I figured it out because one day I got very curious. I was like, how do people make lo-fi hip hop? And I YouTubed it and I found out, and now I can make my own music. So there's that, and of course, as per usual, work, streaming, and yeah, that's it, I guess.
Alright, so since today is like a TCK Third Cultural Kid episode, I thought we should start with 2 truth and 1 lie, and we do 2 sets each.
All right.
So would you like to start us off?
Sure. First one is, I used to not be able to drink beer. The second one is, I'm amazing at twerking. That's the second one. And the third one is, I used to be able to drink 18 shots of whiskey and be fine.
It's definitely the second one. I don't believe you. I don't care about your dancing background. I don't believe you.
Yeah, man. I can't twerk for shit. It's like what's weird is that I danced, right? Even when I was like actively dancing, like I did like rigorous training and shit like that for hip isolation and everything like that. I still could never twerk up till now.
Hold up though, the real problem in your 2 truths and 1 lie. 18 shots? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, like so.
What's the time frame?
It's like within, I don't know, 1.5 to 2 hours.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, so I used to go to the clubs a lot when I was in Shanghai, right? Like it's like 3 to 4 times a week. I was a bad girl. Like, cause I decided when I was in Shanghai, I was like, if I'm gonna fuck myself up, this is probably the best time to do it. So okay. I was like, if I'm gonna drink as much as I wanna fucking do, then I will. So I'd go to the clubs a lot, and the thing is, because the girls drank less than I did, I usually gave all the chases to the girls. So I drank whiskey like straight without any chases. And because usually the girls don't finish the drink, I end up being the one who finishes the drinks, and sometimes also take care of the girls. And I always put a quota on myself that I shall never drink more than 17 or 18, because that's the good, that's when I start feeling good, around 17 or 18.
Damn, dude.
But a bit more than that, if I get to 20, nah.
Like at like the peak of my clubbing lifestyle, I guess I didn't even hit 17. I hit like maybe 10 or like even like a little bit more than 10. Not 17. That's fucking crazy, dude. Were you like a tomato by that time?
Yeah, man. I don't know. I was like 15 kilos fatter than I am now. And
It don't matter. I'm definitely bigger than you. No, I can't do 17 shots.
I don't know.
I'm definitely taller than you. That's for
It
sure.
might have also been the fact that it was China. I don't even know if the liquor was like legit, man. I don't even know if that whiskey was legit. For all I know, it could be like fucking fake.
Usually the fake shit hits worse. It hits much worse than the real shit.
Maybe. But when I got back from Shanghai, I avoided whiskey like it's the plague. Like I couldn't drink whiskey. Even up till now, I can't drink whiskey. When I smell it, I feel like Chandrik because I drank so much back in Shanghai. So, yeah.
Your body has PTSD.
Yeah, PTSD much. And the funny thing is that when I was able to drink 18 shots of whiskey, I couldn't drink beer. I would like chundo with two glasses of bottles of beer. It's really weird.
So weird.
I know,
So
it doesn't
weird.
make sense.
Jesus Christ.
All right, your turn.
All right. So my 2 truths and 1 lie are: I have served Bill Gates and Ronaldo. I have tried to save, quote unquote, save someone from sliding off a slope, but ended up getting stuck.
Okay.
And I have trekked across India, but I gave up after the first day.
Okay, I have to pick out the lie, right?
Yeah, you have to pick out the lie.
I'm gonna say Bill Gates, the first one.
Nope, I've served Bill Gates. and
Oh,
Ronaldo.
really? Really?
Yeah, dude. They're really cool people. Ronaldo has a thing with oranges, and Bill Gates is like the most humble person when it comes to food.
Oh, okay. Then
Yeah.
which one? Wait. Wait. Give me a second try. Let me go for a second try.
Okay.
So it was trekking across India and saving someone from a cliff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say India.
Yes, India was the lie. I
Yeah.
have tried to save someone, quote unquote, save someone who slid off a slope.
Wait, was it a bad slope, like tumble to
Yeah.
death kind of slope?
Not really tumbled to death, but it can hurt a lot of people. So the story is, I went snowboarding with a bunch of my friends, right?
Uh-huh.
Most of us were beginners. One of us was afraid of heights. And usually the number one rule is when you're snowboarding is never to take off your foot, never unhook your foot from the board. At least one of them, right?
Yeah.
So we were at the last slope. It was the steepest slope there was. My friend decided to take off that one foot.
Oh my god.
And then the board started sliding down.
Oh my god.
And he froze because of the height.
Uh-huh.
But because of him freezing, he started sliding down that slope. So I went after him, trying to grab him and the board, but I couldn't catch the board. The board was way too fast. Obviously, it was on the slope.
Uh-huh.
But I got my friend. He was fine. I stopped him in the snow, and he was able to get out very quickly. But no, I had the worst one. I landed into fresh snow, and I got my ass stuck in the snow. Anyways, back to you.
All right, here we go. Second one. I used to hate sparkling water. I used to hate olives. I used to hate cucumbers.
You used to hate olives.
Nah, that's like the truth, man.
Cucumbers?
Yeah, that's the lie. Because I still hate cucumbers.
What's wrong with cucumbers?
I just can't, man. It smells weird to me.
Smells?
Like, it tastes like, you know the water, like if you go to a traditional restaurant and they give you water for you to, like this little pan of water for you to wash your hands in, this little tub of water. That's what to me, it tastes and smells like.
So it smells like tap water from Indonesia, is that what we're saying?
Or like it smells like air freshener. It tastes like air freshener.
No.
Yeah, I don't like my cucumbers, man. I really don't. I hate it. Ugh.
I can't believe you, but okay.
You know, another thing that I don't like, and it usually surprises a lot of people, I don't like watermelons.
Is it because there's a lack of taste?
No, it's mushy.
Mushy?
Yeah.
What kind of fucking watermelons have you been eating that
I
are
don't know,
mushy?
the texture is just weird, man. It's really
Like
weird.
it crumbles in your mouth?
No, it's like, I don't know, it's just mushy. But yeah, the story is that sparkling water, I never liked it because in general, I don't like soda. And olives because I've never really been exposed to like Italian food and stuff like that, and it's just fucking salty. But then I met my boyfriend who fucking loves Italian shit, and having grown up in, the European part of the world, he's like, sparkling water, olives, and like cold cuts and cheese, and eventually I liked everything.
Good job on him.
Yeah, I know, right? Your turn.
So my truth and one lie is I've been to the hospital for burning myself.
Uh-huh.
I've eaten to the point where I had to throw it up. And the last one is I am missing a portion of my thumb.
I would say burning yourself? That's a lie, I guess.
Yeah, that actually yes, that was a lie.
It sounds like a trap. It's like you're using the bias I have for you because you're a chef.
I may or may have not did that.
I know, right? It's like mind games, mind tricks. Like here, just because you're a chef, you're gonna assume that I feel like you have burnt yourself. What happened to your thumb, then?
So my thumb is a culinary related incident.
Oh, okay.
So on my first internship in Switzerland, I think I was like cutting leeks or something, and I was talking to someone, and that's like the number one thing you shouldn't be doing when you're cutting something, especially if you're doing like mass cutting, is talk to someone while you're cutting shit.
Isn't it usually okay though if you have the right finger posture for cutting? Like you wouldn't be
Yeah,
able
it's
to
okay
cut
if you have the right finger posture, but I'm one of those guys who who really gets into talking sometimes, and like sometimes I end up using my hands to talk or I use my body to talk. Yes, I paint pictures with my hands to describe what I'm trying to say. That's what I do. I picked that up from my mom.
Uh-huh.
But so what happened is I was cutting leeks. I cut my thumb, like quite a bit of it. It was like a really sharp knife as well.
Oh god.
And I was bleeding for like a good 6 hours, 7 hours when they took me to the hospital.
Lord.
In Switzerland, there's this thing where they can't admit you until you sign a few papers. But I was bleeding. Right? And they were busy, so I'm just bleeding and bleeding. I'm bleeding on their chair.
Yeah, casually bleeding on the chair. So wait,
Yeah.
you chopped off your thumb.
A large portion of my thumb.
Did you bring it to the hospital, like the chopped off part?
Yeah, I did.
Why didn't they stitch it together?
Because he was dead.
Oh my god, because of waiting too long?
Yeah.
What? That's their fault though. What the hell?
No, it's also because I didn't ice it.
Oh, well, they didn't tell you to.
Yeah.
So technically it's their fault.
Yeah. Well, my thumb looks like a thumb now, but before, like maybe like 4 years ago, you can see there's like a definite cut in my thumb.
Is this your left or right thumb?
My left thumb.
Your left thumb. So is it shorter than your right thumb?
Yeah, on the left side of my left thumb.
Okay, you know how there's like partitions to your thumb? How far is it? You know how it's like divided by two? Like if you face your palm towards your face?
Okay.
There's a little partition to your thumb, right? Like in the middle?
So on the top partition, right?
Uh-huh.
The top right side, like let's say a good maybe now it's like 5%, but maybe before maybe 10% off.
Oh, God. So it's like diagonal.
Yeah, it was diagonal.
What the fuck?
It was interesting. It was a really sharp knife and a really bad day.
How did your nails grow? Just normally? Or is it like, did it grow diagonally as well? So you had like...
It grew normally.
Oh, really?
Yeah, what tripped me out was the skin and the flesh. Like now my thumb looks normal.
That's really weird.
But there's a difference in skin color and I can't feel it.
So there's no stub or anything?
Not anymore.
It's so weird. I didn't know that was possible.
Neither did I.
You should get a fucking like diagonal thumb prosthetic.
Dude, I was so worried that I had to do all my thumbprints again. Like all the places I've traveled to and everything, I thought I'd redo all my thumbprints because it changed.
I would have thought you'd be worrying about fapping or something.
Nah, dude, fuck that. No, I have 2 hands, dude. Come on. It was interesting though. I showed everyone. It was just bleeding all over the place.
It was interesting though. I tried fapping with my diagonal thumb. I thought that was what you were trying to say.
No. Yes, I showed everyone me fapping. Jesus.
So it's another one of those stories that you constantly retell to people. Like you meet a new hot girl and you're like, I almost died in a car accident one day. And the other one is that I have a diagonal thumb.
No. My number one is just the car accident.
Right?
That's my number one story to tell.
Which we are not gonna tell you guys today. We're gonna save that for another time.
When it's more topical.
Yes. All right, shall we get right into it? The main topic of our podcast today.
Yes, third culture kids. What does that mean to you? Like, what is my mom's been asking me. She just found out about the term I think a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I don't know how general this term is, right? Because I asked my friends who kind of grew up in America and stuff, and I'm like, do you know the term TCK, third culture kids? And he's like, nope, never heard of it. But then again, he's kind of a recluse. He's kind of antisocial, so I wouldn't trust his word on it. But yeah. Yeah, not many people know about TCKs, actually. Yeah, like we've said in the first podcast. We touched on it a little bit, right? But yeah, like I said, TCK is mostly, for me back then, it was like, to me, Asians who have kind of been whitewashed. Like
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
yeah, they have non-conventional or conservative outlooks on life, or like opinions and stuff like that. Like, hey, I'm Asian, but you know, it's 2018. Gay marriage is all right. Like, that's pretty
Right.
whitewashed. So I'll tell you a story. I was in the car with my brother and his wife, and my brother grew up in Australia, kinda, so he's pretty cool with shit. Although he's kind of hardwired with the Asian culture still, right? And
Right.
Asian values, and his wife is just full on Asian values and everything. And I was like, what would you do if your kid was gay? And they're like, nah, man, don't think like that. And then the wife was like, dude, if my kid was gay, I'd fucking like get him in like rehab or something. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh wow, okay, that's new.
Yeah,
Well, not really new, but still.
Yeah, I was like,
crazy.
wow, that's backwards thinking. What the hell? It's like, yeah, I'm gonna rehab the shit out of them. I'm gonna get them the meds they need. I'm like, what the fuck? And then, and like, really? Like, I would be fine with having a gay kid. I mean, if that's what they want, and I mean, if they're sure of it, I mean, and my brother just interrupted me. He was just like, nah, man, you shouldn't think like those white people. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
It's weird how they just like dub everything that's not of Asian values, just, or like that does not agree with our culture values, as white people values.
White people values.
White people values, yeah. So that's how the term TCK kind of, gets into meaning for me.
Well, so I did some research. Like, I've been using this term like forever, ever since I lived in Saudi Arabia. But I just searched up what it meant this morning. So TCK is third culture kid. So third culture meaning your first culture is your parents. Second culture is the country that you live in, that's away from your parents' country, and the third one is yours. So it's the combined, or like the new fusion of whatever culture that may be. Like, for instance, for me, my mom is Filipino, my dad is Filipino. They live very Filipino lives. They've been in the Philippines forever until they had me, and I was born in Saudi Arabia. So my host country would be Saudi, which really shows in the way I act, the way I talk, and the way I live. Basically, I love Arabic food. I talk with my hands a lot. I don't mind. If I had my own home, I wouldn't mind inviting strangers if they want to have some food. Or at least I always have enough food to feed someone else.
All right.
And that's one of the biggest things that I notice about Arabs. They always have enough food to feed someone else.
And next time I'm hungry, I'll approach an Arab.
And then the third culture is basically this weird place where I'm in right now, where I'm in Philippines. I don't fit in. Then I have my foreigner, my white person, for your TCK definition, my white person values.
White people values.
White people values in me. And there's the part of me, I'm like, shit, I'd rather just live on a plane or something, or live in hotels.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a bit more defined for your case. For my case, it was like, I grew up in Indonesia, technically, right? Most of my life. Well, not really. It's like half-half. I kept on going back and forth, Indonesia and Australia. I didn't really get whitewashed, to say, until I was in uni and met up with like Aussie friends.
Right.
So my TCKing happened a bit later, because I used to be like pretty fucking religious Asian little kid back then. It was like, being gay is a sin. Yeah. That's the kind of family I live with, guys, and I'm the odd one out.
Well, I was like that too when I was younger. I was brought up Catholic.
Yeah, but how Asian were you in general?
Oh, it was a mix because I spent 1 year of my elementary life in a Filipino school,
Mm-hmm.
but other than that, I was in American school all the way.
Fair enough, yeah. Because, like, here in Indonesia, like, the international schools are still filled with, like, Indos, and there's, like, nothing non-Asian about it.
Okay.
Except for the fact that we speak English, and that's probably it. It still feels like it's like Indonesia, but with English. That's it.
All right.
So you don't get taught, like, these westernized values and views of things, I guess.
When I was in American school, the international school, whatever you want to call it, it was filled with Arabs, and there's like maybe like 1 or 2 Americans or Arabs with American passports, but it was still like we had a lot of like Western ideals and values coming in.
Oh, that's good. So you got a nice mix then.
Yeah. One thing that really shocked me when I was trying to look for like news articles about third culture kids is that majority of the articles are coming out are based on depression and psychology.
Wait, like the depression of third culture kids based on the University of Harvard studies, something like that.
Yes, there are how do you say them
Scoliosis.
there are academic articles
Ah, yes.
done by universities, done by people who have the time to do such
Like
things.
journals, that's what you want to say?
Yes, there we go. Like there are people like fucking put time into trying to figure out third culture kids because majority of them are outdated. They're like 2012, 2015, but third culture kids was not a very common thing until now.
Yes, now because of it's like that phase when like companies suddenly a lot of them became very multinational and shit like that, and shit started crossing borders more. It's like back in the days where suddenly water transportation was invented and you could cross countries, and Napoleon and shit were going everywhere. That kind of shit.
Right.
It's a huge culture shock, and everyone's just like curious about it, and they're like researching about it. I guess that's what happened. But now, I mean, it's pretty normal, don't you think?
Yeah, but like. Good thing that you said culture shock, because that's like the biggest part of the depression and majority of the studies on psychology of third culture kids. So the number one problem that third culture kids have is the culture shock.
Yep, I agree.
Is that they leave the home country or the host country, whatever you want to, wherever you came from, and they go back to their parents' origins, and all of a sudden their world just gets small and tiny.
Yeah. I know. Okay, tell me, how did it feel when you suddenly went back to the Philippines? How would you describe it? Like, in a way you would best express it. Like, would you say the world was a bit dull, lackluster?
Well, for me, moving back to Philippines has always been a big deal. Because ever since I was young, I've had bad experiences because when I go on vacation in the Philippines, back then I didn't speak Tagalog or anything, right?
Yeah.
So I got made fun of. I got bullied in Philippines by strangers because of my accent, because of the way I acted and stuff like that. And they, immediately they think I'm a rich kid and everything like that. I'm like, no, dude, I'm like at best a mid-tier, like a mid-class citizen at best. But like it really really scarred me.
Yeah.
And I brought it all the way to after college. Like I kept on saying every time the idea of I'm going back to Philippines came up within like my family talks, I hated it. I was like, no, I fucking hate Philippines. There's nothing for me to do there. I want to get out right away. And when I first came back here to live, the depression started before I went back.
So it's like you being paranoid and shit like that, I guess.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I was in America, and it was the end of my contract, and I remember vividly the day where it hit. And it was over it was like one night where all of a sudden like all the ideas of how Philippines is shit and everything just hit me. And I remember like bawling my eyes out. Like, no, I'm not going back and everything. I'm like, no, I can't do this. What I'm supposed to do with my life. Then I get back. I vented all my frustrations that one night to myself. And now I'm back here in Philippines. It's not bad. I've actually met really interesting people that changed my mind about Philippines.
Yeah, it's not as bad as you fear it to be.
Yeah, it's not as bad. I mean, there are points and times where I'm like, fucking third world culture, third world country again, and shit's like, hitting the fan, like, someone trying to break in the house because I speak English outside of the house.
Really? Is that one of the reasons?
Oh yeah, because I'm a loud person when it comes to talking, so you can hear me speak English outside of the house.
And that's the reason why by the way, some people tried to break into Kevin's house multiple times, I believe.
Yeah.
Really? Just because he speaks? Well, I guess in other countries.
It makes you a target.
It's true.
Like you speaking English and you looking Asian in an Asian country puts a big target on
That's true, that's true. Like, even in Indonesia, if you speak English, they assume you're a rich kid. Like, you had foreign education, you must be flippin' rich. That kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, then they come into the house, there's like nothing there.
Yeah.
But there's one really cool dude I met. He's the owner of this barbershop I go to. This guy, he came from Toronto, and he had a lot of money. Like, money was coming in. This guy's a fucking like business minded all the way, like true Asian, right? And he comes back to Philippines because he saw a trend, and because he thought that it's time to come back to Philippines and bring what he learned from outside. And that's a very like uncommon and very rare way of thinking.
Because that's kind of unselfish, right?
Yeah, it's not only unselfish. It's like who in the right mind? Like, this is me pre-learning this, idea. Who in the right mind would leave a beautiful country like anything in Europe, anything in North America, Australia, et cetera, who would leave a country like that who's filled with culture and move back to their their parents' hometown and start a business?
Yeah, if it's money motivated, and if you think that the market is bigger than what's establishing, because here's the thing, how dodgy are things in the Philippines?
Fucking
regulations wise,
extremely dodgy.
Yeah, regulations wise, I'm guessing you could do some tax evasive shit.
You can do anything you want.
Exactly. I think that's also one of the reasons, because a lot of the people I know as well, they go back to Indonesia because it's easier to start a business because you can dodge a lot of shit. As compared to starting a business, say, in Australia, where everything's regulated. You can't grow as much, and costs are much higher, and everything like that, So I guess that would be one of the major motivators. I don't know why else people would come back.
Well, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I do remember him telling me that he had a higher salary. He was offered a higher salary back in Toronto than here, and instead he came here.
Yeah, but he gets his own business in the Philippines instead. And having your own business, you could get better returns if you make things work.
I prefer the life of conveniency, where I can use Amazon, where I can use Postmates and get myself some food.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Because I prefer being able to own shit, entrepreneurial shit if I can.
I mean, that hustle, I think is extremely viable still in like first world countries. But it's like there's less shortcuts.
Yeah. But it's much more convenient. But it would cost much more, I believe, in like Australia and stuff like that. But on the flip side, you have a larger community and support, like from the government, like startup grants and everything like that if you want to try something new. But basically, if you want a fail-proof way of starting something, then do it in a cheap country like the Philippines or Indonesia. It's really cheap to start businesses here. and it's a fun experience. Well, you get frustrated at how stupid the people you have to encounter are most of the times. Mostly the customers, not so much the clients and stuff. Well, the clients too, depending on what you do. But
no, dude, the amount of times I want to slap people in the face is extremely higher in the Philippines. Like, way too fucking... I never had rage problems, like extreme rage problems, until I came to the Philippines.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Like, okay, let's talk about this then. So earlier I saw my friend raging on Instagram, right? He's a YouTuber. He has like about almost 40k subscribers on YouTube, but he caters to the Indonesian market, so he streams and makes content in Indonesian. And then he's got like kids cussing at him and like being toxic in Indonesian and shit like that.
Okay.
And he got so mad at everything. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with the people of Indonesia? It's like, why do you guys love swearing so much and cussing at people and bringing people down with every fucking chance you have? He was like going on a full rant, and he's like, don't you know I make content for little to no money for you guys, all those views? Like, you think I'm a billionaire and everything? Like, I make content pretty much for free for you guys, and this is how you guys repay me.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, he got really angry. That's also one of the reasons I ditched making content in Indonesian, actually. Yeah.
Funny enough, there's like a recent article I saw it like pop up on Facebook about Filipino gamers. Apparently, toxicity in gaming is nothing compared to Philippines.
Like putang ina mo.
So the cursing, the cursing is like times 1,000. Fucking, like then the trolling is extremely strong. Like for some reason, it's deep rooted into the culture of Filipino gamers
I wonder why.
to fucking troll and fuck around online. And I say that's true because one of my friends growing up, one of my childhood friends growing up, this guy was fucking toxic as fuck when it comes to playing games.
Yeah, my friends too, like my Indonesian friends. Like I wonder why though.
Like, I really don't know. It's so messed up. Like, how can you get so toxic?
Is it because
game.
of like the fucking suppressive Asian culture? It's because you're like, oh, you have to be polite and shit like that, and then we kind of just go cray once we get the chance to not to.
I think it's probably that, but I also think one of the bigger things, because you see it in like the little PC bangs or the game whatever shops, or what do you call it, whatever you want to call it here.
Net cafes and shit.
Net cafes. PC bangs. That's a Korean.
I know, PC bang.
Net cafes here. You see a lot of peer pressure going on between kids, and like a lot of them like just trying to push each other to do something worse. They hype each other up.
Yeah, I don't think it's healthy, man.
It is not healthy. Like oh my god, I remember the few times where I've played in a net cafe here in Philippines, and I've regretted every single time I played there. I've never played a multiplayer game when I'm inside a net cafe. I've only played single player
Even
games.
with me, like playing Ragnarok, like in Indonesia, the people get pretty fucking toxic, man. And it's Ragnarok, come on. People get angry easier for some reason. Or maybe it's because of, I don't know, lack of happiness in general. Because I found that I was much more happier once, I went to Australia, for example. Is it because they never were given the chance to find that kind of, or explore that kind of happiness, so they're just an angry person all the time? Could be it.
I mean, yeah, a big portion of it is like culture, who's around you, the environment. That's the biggest part of it.
Yeah.
Fucking League of Legends, they banned people like Tyler 1.
Tyler
back.
1, fucking Tyler 1.
Apparently Tyler 1 had a lifetime ban, but he came back.
Tyler 1, yeah, I was reading an article about him, right? About how he was toxic and everything, and he's got this whole celebrity syndrome now and everything. And
right.
But with his comeback, basically when he came back, he hosted this Tyler 1 League or something.
Oh yeah, I watched that. It was so shit, but people loved it. I don't know why.
Yeah, and it's like the most watched, I don't know, video. I think the most watched stream or something.
Yeah, the most watched Twitch stream.
Yeah, it even got more views than like pro ESL leagues and shit like that.
Right.
It's crazy, man. But I don't understand that what the hell pulls people into Tyler 1? I don't understand that.
It's like how back in the day I loved PewDiePie.
He's alright. I think.
No, it's like don't think about the PewDiePie now where it's a lot toned down, a lot more toned down. Think about the PewDiePie back in the day, right after his DeviantArt days.
This is like before he started dyeing his hair and everything. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Let's talk about PewDiePie.
Wait, when did he play Corpse Party?
Oh, Corpse Party was way down the line. He was already famous by that time.
Oh, really?
Let's talk about what made him famous was Amnesia. I've been on the PewDiePie wagon ever since he was on DeviantArt.
All right.
Then all of a sudden I saw him being on YouTube. I'm a legit YouTube OG.
All right.
So back in the day, he has a very high energy, high pitched, I guess, high kind of voice and play style, and I loved it to bits. Like I really enjoyed those videos, and I watched it every day. But now I just can't handle that kind of like playthroughs. PewDiePie now he's a lot more toned down, but I can't handle watching him anymore.
I guess it's also like that thing with Jake Paul, like you don't understand why kids nowadays like Jake Paul.
Yeah, like that's what I'm thinking. That's what people that drag people to Tyler 1 is that they like watching him because of the antics he does, like all the weird antics, all the high energy stuff.
But don't you think it's like those people who kind of make kids nowadays? That it's people like those who kind of produce screeches on games like Fortnite, PUBG, and League, right?
Yes.
Yeah, those fucking screeches and squeakers, those little kids who are like toxic as fuck. It's like, I'll fuck your mom or something like that. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I don't think they're good influence. I wouldn't want my kid watching Tyler 1, man.
It's really not a good influence.
Yeah, like They should at least like watch someone like Noira.
Someone like me 20 years down the line, when I finally turn on my YouTube channel. God fucking I had a YouTube channel idea for like good 3 years. I've made content and taken it off.
God damn it! Just give it a go, man.
No, it's because like I have such a high standard, and two, I'm a very strong procrastinator. Okay.
Oh, you're like
So
me, yeah.
when I do things, I'm always 150% in. Like you see it in my animations. I've never animated before, and this is my first time animating. I'm like 150% in. I'm on 4 days straight now working on it.
Yep.
I'm almost done.
Crazy,
right?
man. You're crazy.
Right. So it's that mentality where I'm always like 150% in, no matter what I do. So when it comes to my YouTube channel, I have notebooks upon notebooks of content, but I can't put it up because I think they're not worthy.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
It's like, you know how I do my videos with like Soviet Womble subtitles? I don't know if you've watched them, but I do that. It takes a lot of time. My boyfriend thinks I'm stupid for doing that because he's like, it's such a waste of time. Like, and then my other friend goes, yeah, but nah, it's got its own appeal, right? And he's like, but it's not worth the time. I don't think so. And I'm just like, but I have to. I can't produce anything less than that. That's like my standard.
Right. Like for me, like my biggest limiters is that the reason why I don't put up my YouTube channel is because one, I don't want to do what everyone else is doing. Right. Like I don't want to copy another person's style. I don't want to copy another person's content, and that's like it's such a strong standard for me that I can't. Everything I pick up, I'm like, yeah, I think I've seen this somewhere before on YouTube.
Oh my god! I think you're too much of an idealist, but
there's this thing that I always go by, but for some reason with YouTube I can't use it. So the greatest artists are thieves or something like that. I can't remember the line.
Something like that.
It's something like that. Like the greatest artists copy from another person and make it their own and make it better. Yep. At the moment, I am currently working on a script for one. This is on a TCK actually theme. One dish, one food dish, what do you call it? That resembles my childhood, my high school life, my college life, and my work life.
So representing your what am I saying?
Representing, yes.
Representing. So representing slices of life with food. Yes.
Yes. This is not something I'm going to do with every video, but this is the first video I want to do. The first content, first video I want to put up on the internet that I think I'm going to be proud of. And I finally picked it. Like it's fucking shawarma. Have you had shawarma before?
No, I don't think so.
Have you had kebabs?
No.
Gyro?
No. I barely eat those kind of foods.
So those three things are essentially the same thing with different variation. So these things, shawarma is from Middle East. Kebab is Middle Eastern but taken to Europe, and gyro is Greek. The basic idea is it's, I guess in simpler terms, this is a burrito.
All right.
But it's an Arabic bread, meat inside of it,
Arabic
a sauce
burrito.
and french fries. Yeah, it's Arabic burrito basically. So I've had that in my childhood. I loved it as a shawarma. Continuing on in high school, same thing. I loved it as shawarma, and I moved off to college and I left home, Saudi Arabia. There's kebab. I remember the first time I had kebab, I hated it. It was shit.
Wait, like kebab?
Kebab, yeah, but not like kebabs like the one on the skewer. Kebab like
the wrapped one.
The wraps,
oh, yeah,
yes.
yeah. Because I thought I had something else.
Okay, so yeah, that's a shawarma as well, but with a different take. And then the final one is now, where I'm like, I worked in Greece. I loved eating gyros every time I was on dock. I was docked, and now basically the video is a compilation between old videos, current videos, with a narrative thrown on top of it.
Talking about like childhood food, you know what I've always loved with like childhood, like back in the days when I was a kid? It would never cease to make me happy. It's like bread, toasted bread with some butter and just like fucking sugar, and it tastes amazing.
I've learned over the time that's a very Indonesian thing.
It tastes really good.
Take it for instance, fucking martabak, right? Who fucking takes fucking pancake batter, put it on steroids, put Nutella, some salty shit onto it, and cheese? What the fuck, dude?
last night I think I was watching this video and I fucking cracked up watching it. It was about this dude who would like eat random shit suggested by people on the internet. So
Okay, that sounds like a very bad idea.
so he first tried out. He tried a like fucking Oreo with orange juice and he spat it out. It was horrible.
I would do the same, I think.
But then he fucking tried Cheetos with like milk, and apparently it's not bad. It's pretty good.
It's not bad. No, I can think about it.
Like,
I can taste
couldn't
it in my
imagine
head.
it. Like cheese
It's
and
not
milk,
bad.
right?
Yeah, it's like fucking nacho cheese, right? Nacho cheese is fucking cheese and milk.
yeah.
Cheap cheese and milk.
And then he also had like fucking PB&J and Doritos.
Oh, that's
Which
fucking
is
amazing.
pretty good as well, and also grilled cheese with Frosties.
Yeah, that's good too. So was inspired. I have a dish, not a dish, but like a meal I like going to that's been inspired by an ice cream I had a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
So it's PB&J and bacon.
Oh, that sounds good. That sounds like that reminds me of like how you'd have soul food, aka waffle chicken and like maple syrup. That's how I kind of imagine it.
Mhm.
Apparently, jalapenos and peanut butter taste really good.
Oh yeah, that tastes good too.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Because I just saw it in the comments and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like these are combinations that you see are very viable if you're a chef already, right? You understand taste profiles
Oh,
and
all
whatnot.
right. Oh, and also when you go to Macca's, people here in Indonesia eat the Macca. Like, you know how you get the soft serves from Macca's? They'd eat like Macca's.
Put French fries in it.
Yeah, they like dip French fries in it.
Dude, that's worldwide.
What the fuck? I don't understand.
It's really good. So, what we're trying to get at with the PB&J and bacon, right,
Uh-huh.
is that I don't have PB&J at home here. So you know what I did instead, following the same taste profile?
Uh-huh.
I had salt and vinegar Lay's chips, really good fucking peanut butter, like homemade peanut butter from local area, and honey on toast. It was fucking amazing.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's another combination that this dude tried. Was fucking vanilla ice cream and soy sauce.
That sounds okay, but not with the milk.
He hated it. He
Yeah.
hated it so much.
Like I can think about vanilla and soy sauce put together, that's fine, but not vanilla ice cream.
How would that? Yeah. No? Why would vanilla and soy sauce sound fine? That sounds horrible.
It's really hard to describe until if I make it and serve it to you. So I think the simplest way to put it is: have you ever tried putting vanilla and salt together?
Is like would it taste like salted caramel?
No, because vanilla doesn't have that sugary taste.
No, that's true. They have a more aromatic kind of taste,
Yeah,
right?
it's more aromatic, more herby
Uh-huh.
kind of taste. Because if you take out that sugar that you put in ice cream, and you just have the vanilla
It's like vanilla
and
essence.
salt. No, vanilla essence kind
They
of.
smell nice.
Where it's like, yeah, it smells nice, but it's vanilla essence, right? We're talking about like real fucking vanilla and vanilla seeds.
Okay.
Like you put that and salt together. You like okay, this is what you can do at home, and maybe some people are listening. You can do at home. If you want to get fancy schmancy with it, take a vanilla stick that's already been used. And I know Indonesia has a fuck ton of it because
Oh, yeah.
it's fucking cheap as balls over there.
Yeah.
You take vanilla that's already been used, stick it in a jar with rock salt, leave it in there for like a few days and whatnot. You will have vanilla salt. Your salt will taste like vanilla.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing now.
It works. It's really good. If you really want to get fancy with it, it is really good. I personally would put it on top of a donut.
Oh my god. And the obesity begins.
Like funny enough, there's one thing that most of my people hate. Well, not my people, my friends
people.
hate. My people.
Damn.
A lot of my friends hate, and that is I've only converted one person so far,
Uh-huh.
but it's glazed Krispy Kreme donuts
Yes.
and hot sauce.
Oh god, no. Like fucking sriracha?
No, not sriracha. It has to be vinegar based hot sauce.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
So it's sour, little bit of smokiness, then the sugar, then the bread.
Have you ever tried, you know mee goreng, right? Indomie?
Yeah, I fucking love that shit.
Just a normal mee goreng one. Kind of reduce the water so much that the MSG is really strong, and then you add some ketchup and sambal or like sriracha to it, and then you fucking add green chili to it. It's fucking amazing. I just had it the other
It sounds
day.
good.
Yeah, don't have too much of it though. You'd like degenerate in cells and become, I don't know, have 50 less IQ or something.
I do that with shin ramyun. So I reduced the sauce till it's like a fucking like thick ass, like it drips down like honey kind of sauce.
Yeah.
Then you throw in the noodles. Yeah, fucking glazed Shin Ramyun noodles. It's fucking amazing. You put cheese on top.
It's
Oh
so
shit.
worth it. Like, if there's one thing I could eat, like, before I'm dying, it'd be fucking, yeah, reduced mee goreng. With sambal and ketchup manis. Wait, did I say ketchup earlier?
like-
I meant ketchup manis. So it's soy sauce.
It's okay. I understood what you're talking about because I'm familiar with the Indonesian
God damn it.
use with it. So there's this weird thing I've noticed when I was in Saudi Arabia. There's one friend that I went to his house, and you know he was eating like how he was eating his Indomie,
What? How?
plain.
What?
So it's cooked
Uh-huh.
and it's just the noodles.
Wait. Wait. Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious.
Okay.
He had a big plate of Indomie noodles with no seasoning, no
What
nothing, no
the
lemon shit.
fuck? How?
The first time I saw it, I was like, "What the fuck? This guy's a weirdo."
Yeah, what the hell, man? Wow. I have nothing to say for that.
I had nothing to say as well. I was just like, "Oh shit, what the fuck is he doing?" I mean, I eat fucking chicken flavored Indomie raw.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where you treat it like
Yeah,
chips.
yeah. I
You
do
break
that
it
a
up.
lot too.
Like I did that a lot in my childhood, right?
Uh-huh. I did that too.
I'm like, just to go back to your white people.
White
I know
people.
most white people be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" But
It's us Asian
it's
people
fucking
thing.
amazing, right? It's an Asian people thing. It's fucking amazing.
Oh wait,
It's fucking
dude!
chips on steroids.
You know what would be perfect for this conversation? Remember that night where I told you, or that morning where I told you that last night I've stooped so low that I made a song about McDonald's and binging on it.
Yes.
So here's how the lyrics went, right?
Jesus Christ, here we go.
It's based on Cold Water by who was it? Chainsmokers and Justin Bieber or something. It goes like, wait. All right.
Are you getting your guitar? Come on.
No, I can't be bothered. So here's how the lyrics go. Everybody gets fat sometimes, you know. What else can we do when we're feeling low? So take a deep breath and let it go. You shouldn't be starving on your own. And if you feel like binging, I will jump right over into that McDonald's with you. And although fries and ketchup may not hit that right spot, I will still be patient with you. And I hope you know I'll order more. I'll be your fat friend tonight.
Jesus.
And I'll get more sauce. Loads of McNuggets tonight. Yeah, that's like the first part of the song. I actually legit made the whole lyrics to this fucking song.
Oh my fucking god, dude.
I've stooped so low, man.
When we post this this podcast, it's gonna be hashtag McDonald's, hashtag please sponsor us. Okay, I'm gonna put at McDonald's when I post this. Fucking, hold up, we forgot it.
What?
I'm loving it.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Now we can get sponsored. Okay?
No.
Are you ready to be the face of McDonald's Indonesia?
Sure, I could be the new Ronald McDonald's. Noira McDonald's.
You know, I hated McDonald's when I was there in Indonesia.
Why? It's
It
amazing.
tasted like shit.
No, have you tried the McDonald's chicken?
No, I didn't like McChickens back then when I was in Indonesia. I only like McChickens now.
Do
But
you
when
know
I was-
that the Indonesian KFC is the the international standard?
I don't eat KFC.
Oh fuck.
I'm not a big fan of fried chicken because in Saudi Arabia we had like a fucking. It's like In and Out, whereas only in California.
Mhm.
It's the same thing. So we only had this one place in Saudi Arabia called Al Baik,
Mhm.
and it was the best fried chicken I've ever had.
Oh, okay.
So
I see why you
You
wouldn't
know,
like KFC now.
yeah, after that, you don't go for fucking soggy ass KFC fried chicken.
Fair enough. Oh, I wanted to tell you also about since we're not much talking about TCKs anymore, it seems. So I read this article earlier. My friend tagged me on Facebook, right? It was about this Twitch program. Apparently for Women History Day or something. They're kind of sponsoring women streamers, like female streamers, they have a budget of like around a $500 to $2K funds. It's going to be distributed and given to by this organization called Broadcast Her. So they're going to like donate some money to female streamers for them to upgrade gear and shit, and you can apply for it. And I'm like, what the fuck? You can get money for just being a girl? What has the world come to?
Can you apply for it and send it over to me? Just PayPal it to me. It's fine.
No, apparently I'm too old. Fuck
What
that.
the fuck?
So they focus on female streamers who are like high school or like in second semester of uni and stuff like that. Not
It's
someone who's
okay.
like
Your height tells them that you're like 12.
they say that, yeah, this is for people who really want who really need that monetary fund and, you know, helping. And I'm like, you know, there are other ways to get money, like working and not streaming.
Or be a titty streamer, you know, there's that too.
Yeah, and treat a streamer. But I don't understand, like, look, like, if you were to get a sponsorship, right, it shouldn't be because you're a fucking female. It should be because your content is good.
That's true.
What the hell? What does the world come to, man? It's so weird.
Can I get money because I'm a dude? Is there a place where I can get money for it because I'm a dude? Other than the sperm bank?
Oh, yeah, the sperm bank.
Other than the sperm bank, there's another place where I can get money just for being a dude. God damn.
I don't know what to think about. I don't like the idea of that. Like, I've gotten into an argument, or more like a debate once, a discussion once with one of my friends. He's part of a startup, in the startup world as well. And there's this thing going on with startups where they're kind of trying to empower female programmers. So, on top of training them, they're trying to get them into the best companies, like getting them jobs, so giving them better access to IT-based jobs. Oh, was that it? No, wait. I think it was female startups. It's both of it. It might have been both of them. There were two programs on that day. So, and I was like, you know, I'm all about feminism. I'm all for feminism and shit. But if you get benefits just because you're a woman and not because of equal opportunity and, you know, for the fact that you're actually good, like, why? Like, you should only get these benefits if you're actually good.
You know what's funny? I think the person who made that idea was a dude. Has to be a dude.
Oh, maybe.
It's like, you know what we should do for like Female History Day or month, whatever? It's like, we should give girls free money legally.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
I'm telling you, a dude made that.
Maybe.
A dude made that idea.
I think it's a stupid idea. I just don't understand. Like, come on, feminism, or like, it's about equal opportunity, right? It's not about, oh, hey, she's a girl, let's hire her, let's give her money instead of that dude there. Fuck that dude.
Because like this actually happened recently, where I think it was F1. They started to phase out the girls' dresses, like their skimpy ass dresses, whatever.
Oh yeah.
So that was started by a dude. But all of a sudden, there's this huge backlash from all of the models.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're all saying, like, why? I mean, we are all fine with how we dress. Majority of the F1 races do not have skimpy outfits, right? Like, for some reason, it's like it sounded like the dude who ever made it did not have enough research or did not ever try to think about looking into it.
I think the bad idea of that is that he never asked, you know?
Yeah, like, there's your number one. He never asked. You know?
It's like that's mansplaining. It's just you assume it's the best without asking them.
Yeah, it's like oh shit, you know, there's a lot of feminism going on in 2018, 2017. Let's like tone down how the girls dress.
Yeah.
Without consulting anyone.
There's also this thing with female streamers apparently getting a bad rep because of all the booby streamers. You know that?
Yeah, I've seen it coming because a lot of what is it called? Webcam girls are jumping over to Twitch.
Yeah, I think Twitch is starting to regulate it a bit more though. But generally, I think a lot of people kind of turn away female streamers or from engaging in female streamers' stream or trying it even because they're like, they have this assumption, maybe they're like, oh, she probably isn't interested in the game because she might be a booby streamer, that kind of thing. And the female streamers on Twitch kind of think that the actions of this minority or majority, whatever large pie, whatever portion of the pie they take, these booby streamers, they kind of set that standard, and it's affecting those female streamers who are actually trying really hard. What do you think about that?
I honestly like don't give a shit. Like as long as your content is good, I'll watch.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're saying that because they feel like as a female streamer you get a lot more backlash, like sexual comments and shit like that, and a little less respect, I guess, and being seen more of a sex object, and they're kind of blaming it on the booby streamers. And I'm like, honestly, I don't know, and I don't really have an opinion of it. Like, if I get rude people, I just ban them.
Yeah, I mean, like you have the tools to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna put the blame on booby streamers just because I'm not growing in followers, you know.
Yeah, it's like you have the tools, right? If you have the tools to stop it and you don't, that's kind of on you.
But to be fair, I do get jealous by the fact that some people can get more views even though it's just like, you know, they're kind of flaunting their body. And the fact that I'm not willing to stoop that. Okay, I'm not judging them, but for me, I wouldn't do that. And I get kind of jealous. Like, oh, these guys could be watching me, but you know what? Maybe they're not the people who I want watching me anyway, so fuck that.
So my question is, would you look forward to a shirtless guy streaming?
Depends. How cute is he? No, actually.
He is like tip-top shape, tip-top model quality, and he's just streaming.
It also depends like what he's doing. I'd rather look at pictures of them than watch them stream, I think. Streaming, I don't know. There's a lot of drama in the world of streaming, I guess, in a way. Yeah, especially if you get involved in the community, apparently. Like, there's this rumor that it's like the world of being a celebrity, you know? Like, if you're in the world of celebrity streamers, you kind of have to get around. And apparently there's this rumor that the females kind of sleep with other guys and date other guys to kind of gain their viewership and everything, and then dump them later, stuff like that. It's just like a whole celebrity kind of syndrome thing going on when you're a streamer, apparently, when you're up top there.
So, like, do you know Phil DeFranco?
I've heard of him. Wait, is he that?
So
That Yes. I think you showed me his YouTube.
Yeah, so he's a really cool guy. But like, I think it was on one of his shows where I heard something about YouTubers where they are the millennials version of celebrities. No one watches TV anymore. Watches
That's true.
All the old TV stars and whatnot. Now it's all about YouTube. Like little kids don't know who David Beckham might be.
That's true.
If they're not into sports. But they'll know who KSI is.
That's true.
So there's this whole new frontier of entertainment that's happening where you have YouTubers who are coming from nowhere, which is pretty much the same thing as a celebrity. They're both coming from nowhere, and they're starting to become extremely famous and entitled.
Yeah, but I think the difference in the more dangerous thing is that, as celebrities, you're limited to the amount of information and access you have to them. Like, David Beckham, you just get to like fucking admire him from afar, and you get to see his celebrity shit probably on a magazine or something. But the thing is, with a YouTuber, they always create content for you, for example, and sometimes they might stream, so they get to talk to you. So it's more personal, and I think content creators, YouTubers, streamers, they have more influence on their viewer base and fans, and I think that's kind of what makes it, I guess, both powerful and dangerous. I just hope that, there's more of a good influence than a bad influence in the current generation of content creators. Like, I'd be happy if we had less Jake Pauls, man.
Oh, yeah. I think everyone would be happy with that.
Yeah. I mean, recently Jacksepticeye went on the late night show.
Oh, did he? I don't watch him.
Yeah, I mean, I think I follow. How do I know? I've watched a few of his videos, and I follow him on Twitter. I mean, he's a cool guy. He's pretty sincere, down to earth, from what he says, and he's pretty good looking too. But yeah, he's not toxic, at least. So I think he's at least one of those good people, those good influences.
In terms of YouTubers, I think that, like, gamers wise, I think I only watch one person.
Noira?
I used to watch a You wish. You wish. All I do is drop fucking messages on the
And
stream. That's all I
leave.
do.
Fucking hell.
And leave.
Oh, you're like a postman, you know?
I only watch one YouTuber now. That's Jesse Cox.
Jesse Cox. Oh, Jesse Cox apparently was like the panel of some kind of convention, and he made like this whole commentary on booby streamers and stuff. I can't remember what it was though.
Yeah, he did that.
Okay, so tell me, what is your opinion on booby streamers?
My opinion? I mean, if
I won't judge.
It's not. I'm not worried about you. The shit we talk about. I'm definitely not worried about you. But so titty streamers, booby streamers, whatever you want to call it. I honestly don't mind them as long as they are there for the right intentions. If they're there to like farm money from all these poor sods online, just who hasn't seen a tit in a day of their life, you know, then yeah, I have a problem with it. But if they're just there to have fun and that's their choice of wear, so be it.
But they're not particularly like farming money if the people voluntarily give them money, right?
Yeah, no, I know, but it's like you are turning an innocent form of what's it called, entertainment, and changing it to another, like basically turning it into a business. Right.
Yeah, fair enough. For me, I guess it's generally, I won't judge, like I said. And generally it's fine. Like, I don't really give a shit if it doesn't affect the other people or the platform that they're in or the environment that they're in negatively. It's like, the bad thing is like when you start kind of booby streaming on YouTube and you get kids watching, like that's kind of inappropriate. But if you're like booby streaming on like a cam girl site, then like I don't give a shit. I mean, it's that for you're doing it there for a reason, and it's a perfect place to do it. But if you're like, yeah, if it's like on Twitch where it's kind of inappropriate, for example, it's kind of like gray area. I kind of don't like the idea of it.
Is there a mature rating or like a mature like gate on Twitch?
There is, but it's still not for sexual stuff. It's more for like swearing and like smoking and vaping.
But you would think that'd be under like the clauses and whatnot for mature audiences.
No, it actually says that you shouldn't be wearing anything. You shouldn't be giving like any sexual, I don't know, vibes or something. I don't know. You should be wearing whatever's appropriate to equivalent to what you'd wear when you're going out like to a restaurant or something. That's what they say. I don't know. It's kind of vague, but I know that Twitch has banned a few titty streamers.
Oh yeah, that's definite. I think that's extremely definite. I mean, I see it on the highlights, the Twitch highlights. Like
oh yeah, I watch those too.
So you just finished listening to the #1 podcast on my mom's list, the Vin and Noira Show. So I hope you enjoyed everything. I hope you enjoyed the topic for this episode, Third Culture Kids, and thanks for listening. And as usual, you can find out all our social media accounts down below in the description box. So if you enjoyed the podcast today or feel a little bit generous, click that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment. And it's me, Vin, signing out. Bye-bye.
And it's Noira signing out too. Bye-bye.
But the best of all was how we fell in love beyond measure.
Sunrise to sunset, is this where our day ends?
Sunshine greeted by smiles, small things that take us miles away.
She's like that I've gone, take me back to times, all the silent lips to my home.